So now going to the problem solving of movement part, right? And this is kind of like the whole point of why you would have this conversation with it. If you're an athlete and you would like to be better at your sport, you need to be very specific because if you do just general training, you'll get general results and only general carryover, right? The more specific that you get, the more room for adaptation that you might not see coming, right? So let's say you specialize and only do the thing that you want to do. Let's say broad jump, fairly simple bilateral exercise, dip, swing, and jump, right? Or release, whatever you would like to call it. If you were to only broad jump, you would adapt based on what your natural ratios allow your central nervous system to fire it. Now, a little backtrack. I had an injury before that would prevent me loading one of my legs to the most capacity. Now, at one point, I felt I could load the leg. There was no pain. There was no discomfort. I couldn't physically see a difference in walking, like from my perspective. Nothing. I'm not talking about video or mirror. I'm talking from my perspective. I couldn't tell the difference. So I started doing drop jumps. I landed fine. On video, it looked symmetrical. As soon as I started doing depth jumps from like, I think it was about 30 centimeters, just not too much. I had enough isometric strength in the tendons. I had prepared the tissues. Instantly, I favored the side of my body that wasn't injured. I didn't think of this. I didn't try to do this. My central nervous system sensed, hey, listen, this is what we got. And just set more weight into the direction where I could handle. You'll see it with Olympic lifters. It may shift their hip in one direction. You'll see it in power lifters, a little bit less because they have more of that outside edge of the foot squat rather than that inside edge, but still you can see it. Now, this adaptation of, you don't think about how you are asymmetric, right? You don't think about how you're solving this problem. You just intend to solve it, but you think away from the ground, or you intend something with your action, but the consequence is reactive. So if you enforce your internal structures on the world in another way, you're going to do damage to yourself. If you respond to the world, you'll move as smooth as ever. You can see it. You can see it with these athletes like Walter Payton or Earl Campbell falling forward. He trucks somebody with his neck, essentially. Just awful. But because he's still falling, the person that he trucks with that, he falls backwards.